Sliding no back now, I'm feeling like Venom. I told her kick it, back him, squeezing a Mac, lemons, walk down, boy.
It's the dark skin Savage, my neighbor. Dogs that will send you to dogs backwards. God. Dogs that will send you to God. I ain't gonna that picture. This is a dead picture. Hey man, but anyway, ain't gonna waste no time. Let's get into the boy.
Once I would take the leash off and walk you. Because a lot of people have gotten way too confident. I've said it before, but one way to see how a guy's mind works is to ask him, what's the biggest animal he can fight? And if you want to see how highly he thinks of himself, ask him, what's the biggest dog he could take down? Or if there's even one alive that he couldn't. TikTok has taught me a majority of y'all are KOing anything canine. Allegedly. Now, in their defense, there's over 350 breeds of dogs, and the average man is bodying most of them. Dogs are built for friendship, some quite literally, and they're descended from a pack hunter who really isn't about the one-on-ones. Plus, dogs have one real way of delivering damage, and unless they have the size to make up for it, most dogs can't go band for band with the average man. Think about size.
Oh, God! Oh, my gorilla.
Oh, that dog right here is dangerous. That's a dangerous dog.
150-pound range. They go from a loud inconvenience to
I forgot the name of that dog.
Oh my God.
Bigger than that, and you got the kind of dog where every breath you take is a blessing.
That's the real dog.
Demonize any breed or inspire you to test your luck against your dog. And also, don't take this too seriously. I know Fantasy Fight Club loves hills to die on. But first, we got the Kangal Shepherd is a Turkish Fido flex, bred as a livestock guardian dog against jackals, wolves, and bears. Males on average get from 110 to 150 pounds, but ask around. Someone will tell you about their 180-pound attitude adjustment. An important distinction is that these aren't herd dogs. They're guardian dogs. The canine insurance policy pretty much are part of the herd, and any predators that flock around very quickly find out.
Bro, I only hit with 159.
While the service prefers intimidation, they'll catch a clean body if it gets there. The catch is, since Kangals are built to defend the defenseless, they're unironically really good with children. But with a temper more trigger-happy than the state of Texas, nothing steps to a member of a Kangal's herd without getting read in an obituary. Apparently, some Kangals have snapped at their owners for getting too close to their own sheep. With Kangals having the strongest bite of any dog at an alleged 743 pounds per square inch, a snap from a helicopter and horsepower is much different. They're so protective, they even protect some of the predators they were hired against. In Namibia, ranchers and cheetahs share an area code, and in a world where a dead cow can set your entire family back, many cheetahs become chalk outlines in the name of asset protection. But having Kangals and
this nigga attacking the cheetah? You can't even keep up with it. He's the goat, nigga. I'm going back in the house.
To reach for a permanent solution. The Kangal option actually reduced cheetah trappings and killings by 80%, and in some places, they're providing the same deterrent service to wolves. So all in all, they're still a good dog, just not for everyone. And not just because they need space, experience, and most importantly, a purpose, they need discipline, because gentle parenting means Turkish Tank rips your arm out of the socket the first time he sees a squirrel.
That's Caucasian Shepherd.
Would send you back to the
mountains. I like a person.
Forged in the mountains of Caucasus, the Caucasian Shepherd is also called the Russian Bear Dog, even though they're not Russian, and you're liable for a lecture if you call them that in front of the wrong person. They also weren't bred to hunt bears. They're also livestock life insurance. It's just that calorie blocking a bear might just come with a job description. The blow-dry Tasmanian Devil comes in two forms: the longer-coated mountain type and the shorter-coated steppe version. The mountain brand are the big boys, and usually the ones that can get to over 200 pounds.
My goodness, bro.
We're not choking out a Wolverine on creatine with war experience. The dog, also called an ovcharka, was used in World War II as Soviet Union guards that would gatekeep Soviet gulags. So they might not send you there, but they'll keep you in its custody. So even though they didn't originate in Russia, before the Soviet Union developed an atomic bomb, they mobilized a furry nuke in the form of Fido. Also, a good amount would patrol the Berlin Wall, and after the wall came down and the dogs were adopted out, many of the veterans would suddenly remember their orders whenever near the past tense wall, and would robotically walk in obedience to a wall that wasn't there. So yeah, folks messed around and created an absolute unit of a sleeper agent. It isn't until you have about 200 pounds of dog resisting your
goodness.
You realize what the amounts of Caucasus were cooking. There's a reason this domesticated bear is used in Russian
Smack that nigga down.
Imagine bags of ovcharkas roaming the city of Berlin at the expense of anyone unlucky enough to run into them. Well, you don't need imagination. For one of the dogs next, it's a reality.
Oh yeah, it's my dog right here.
Game
Corso.
Dog debate. You tell him to sit, he looks at you like this. What is your next
Feel
move?
like a
Daddy
jaguar,
Cujo
bro.
decides to climb on your couch where he knows he's not allowed. What is your vehicle of retribution? I pray it's not a rolled-up newspaper. You're gonna make your
They're like in a pit bull family.
Latin is like a linguistic black light that tells the full story of a word. When you shine on Cane Corso, Canis is dog, and Corso or Cohors refers to guard, specifically a military guard dog.
Yeah, them dogs are crazy.
Corsi are kind of the guard dog, and they're descended from ancient Roman war dogs known as Canis pugnax. For Corsi, the Italian mastiff would attack enemy lines in battle with buckets of flaming, scalding hot oil strapped to their backs. Fun fact, in my culture, Cani is the name of a spice you put on dishes, and to me it's all good, but to someone who's never had it before or doesn't know how to handle it, it can be an overseasoned assault in a sense. Same story with the lack of dogs. And they're a one-way trip straight to Valhalla. And with many over 120 pounds, I do believe every conscious breath you take is with their consent. Again, they're guard dogs that protect their pack, and within it, they're docile family dogs that you can trust with the kids. But the same dog that can tear a wild boar in half like a phone book would absolutely turn you into coffin fodder in a fight.
Oh my God.
This might be the most underrated dog out here. First time I saw one, I genuinely thought it was a customized Cane. And while they look similar, at up to and often over 140 pounds, the Bressa Canario somehow tankier than a canine Italian stallion. Don't get it twisted, the Spanish Mastiff off the Canary Islands is 404 in most men. They just might have been brought over by Spanish conquistadors, and they were admired for their intelligence, toughness, and like a fitted sheep they won't fold. But they were also bred specifically to exterminate wild or stray dogs. And that's something I'm going to touch on later, because LGDs like Ovchakas, they're not meant to murk predators, just discourage them. They bred the Bressa Canario to a race of the dogs. That's basically a canine assassin. The hired gun was also a recurring character in dogfighting rings, even after it was criminalized. Because of this, the pride of the Canary Islands almost went extinct in the 60s. Luckily, a breed society, Club Español de Bressa Canario, was formed, and they came up with a breed standard. The standard was approved in '89, and the Bressa Canario was recognized as the official dog of the Canary Islands. The goal was to help the Bressa make a comeback, and today they're still going strong. They have a lifespan that can last over a decade, despite all the nerfs that come with being a big dog. Which means we're talking about the dog that has fought its own kind, its own biology, and literal extinction. Not the type I want to start problems with. Now let the record show that the muscle of canary is the equivalent of a canine wet wipe around family. But any burglars getting blacklisted from the census. Once upon a time, the
like a damn lion
for trying to pass off a dog as an African lion. Oh, it didn't last long. They were for sure wrong. But when you squint at a Tibetan Mastiff, you see the inspiration. This wolfy mammoth is one of the oldest dog breeds alive, and they were used to protect Buddhist monasteries and Tibetan monks.
But I ain't gonna lie, bro. You remember when I said I got chased by a dog, bro? Raphael's dog? Bro, I swear that dog looked like this, bro.
Nigga like a lion, bro?
Bro, I've always described it as a lion, bro. Every time I remember that dog, bro, it's a dog with a whole bunch of hair around his neck, and it was huge. Nigga, I thought I was dying that day, bro. Bro, that nigga every time I talk about it, it's a lion, bro. It looked like a lion. And there's other dogs around there that I now remember what they look like. They're like pit bulls and shit, whatever. But that one specifically, nah.
It might be a lion, nigga.
Yeah, you think it's gonna have a lion?
That's what I did there, because African nigga people stereotype.
Yeah, because we walk around lion, tiger and shit. Yeah, we be out.
It's a dog chat. Nigga look like a lion.
And snow leopards. Traditionally, the hound of the Himalayas will sleep all day and patrol the villages at night. So if you take in a Tibetan Mastiff, you may find their habits nocturnal.
I'm gonna tell Raphael to send me a picture of his dog, bro.
Genetically sequenced abnormally.
Let's see,
Back in the day, Tibetan Mastiffs were bred.
I was a kid when that happened to me, bro. It looked just like this dog, bro.
That's if you still have 50% more efficiently.
You
gotta have a baby picture.
Dogs, but you do see it in the Tibetan subspecies of gray wolf. Which is why the sentient hair salon can survive such a high altitude.
Ain't gonna lie, that dog look emo as fuck.
Little Clifford can send wolves running. And that's what I wanted to mention. These
dogs
are deep shit, nigga. They don't shoot dead necessarily. Just gone. They're not out here looking for smoke.
Holy shit, what the fuck?
You'll find that the most dangerous thing about them is the constant slaughtering can be a slip hazard. But there's a catch. The Tibetan Mastiff wasn't just insurance. They were a status symbol, especially in China. One named Big Splash sold for $1.5 million.
Oh my goodness.
Financially. The problem is, like all fads, the TM hype faded.
Jesus.
Was more abandoned Mastiffs than anyone knew what to do with. except the dogs. The Tibetan persuasion started forming feral packs where they've killed livestock, hunted native Boral sheep, and even attacked ancient enemies like snow leopards, bears, and now even humans. Now we've got thousands of feral Uber dogs roaming the Tibetan plateau, making life air-conditioned hell for snow leopards and putting paws and jaws in any people that happen to cross their paths. It's basically what happened to pigeons in America, but I've never seen a pigeon little bro a wolf. I don't know what's with all the videos of Tibetan mastiffs and wolves in the same place, but I have not seen one where the dog doesn't completely bully the, albeit smaller, Asian wolves. And speaking of wolves, at least the wild ones are afraid of humans. We genetically engineered a weapon of mass destruction.
So how I get
mastiffs in general are canine flex. They'll have you mastiffs.
I see what you did there. Mass destruction, because that's a mastiff.
Sweetheart that could genuinely bench press her family. The Neapolitan Mastiff was literally built on honey badger principles. Loose skin, so that even when clamped, they can always turn around and face their problems. But it also makes them look like a victimized pizza pie. Cheese sliding right off.
Yeah, them dogs be having deep ass barks, bro.
Few dogs that can successfully
them niggas bark, but that shit, you gon' feel that shit.
He's from Sandlot, was an English Mastiff, and the record.
Yeah, that's the Sandlot dog, yeah.
Mazorba, an English Stiffy weighing 343 pounds. And of course, we can't forget my favorite Mastiff, and honestly, dog.
343
this
pounds.
This is an easy attitude adjustment for any man that thinks he can work any dog. But one dog you would absolutely get worked by is. The Boer Bull is a massive 200-pound vibe check of a pet. They were bred as a South African farm dog.
200 pounds?
Home against threats like leopards and even baboons. Ironically, it's the baboons I'm impressed by. You see, there's a lot of stories about this farmer dog. Aura, as the kids say. There's one story of a Boer Bull life-depriving 4 leopards in a row before losing to a 5th. Another story goes like this. The king of Albania gifted Alexander the Great a massive Boer Bull. But when Alice tried to get the dog to hunt, the dog seemingly refused, so Mr. Macedon did the sensible thing and murked the dog for insolence. So the king said the dog wasn't lazy, just bored, and that these dogs were meant to hunt big game, like elephant big. So apparently they sent a replacement, and this Boer Bull won Alexander over after breaking a lion's back and forcing an elephant off a cliff. Do I believe it? Absolutely not. But that was my narrative. It is true. The same Boer Bull that squares up with big cats and baboons also has the personality of a weighted blanket, unless you threaten their family, in which case they'll put you in an ashtray.
They weigh 300 pounds, bro.
They got promoted and invited out to hunts. Which is actually the opposite of...
Broke a lion's back.
Hold on. He said he don't believe it, but... Hold on. How much does a lion weigh?
Forced an elephant off the cliff.
Lion weigh 410 pounds. So... And they weigh 300 pounds, so they can go at it.
They can go at it, nigga.
Nigga, that's crazy.
Nigga, it took out 4 leopards. 4 leopards. Nigga.
Before losing to a 5th.
Before losing to a 5th one. Nigga. That shit is crazy.
They're basically a guard dog. They got promoted and invited out to hunts, which is actually the opposite of... The Rhodesian Ridgeback might seem like a token pick, but hear me out. They're the inverse of Boer Bulls. They were so good at hunting, they eventually got promoted to guards. With a max weight of like 120 pounds, the Ridgeback is the lightest dog in this video. They get the nod because they were used to hunt lions, along with the usual suspects like wild pigs and baboons. Now I should probably explain, when I say hunt lions, I don't mean these dogs are out here giving Simba the belt to butt. There isn't a dog alive that can beat a lion. No dog exists that can 1v1 a bear, and pretty much all would get folded by a full-grown, all-American Northwestern wolf. By hunting, really the Rhodesian Ridgebacks would bay the lions, not straight up attack them, but harass them, applying constant pressure until eventually the hunters showed up. The best way I can explain it is these wolves mobbing a black bear and basically escorting him away from their pups hidden in the grass. Rhodesians more so keep the lion in one place, which is arguably just as impressive. It takes a lot of intelligence to pin a predator 5 times your size, and yeah, Ridgebacks are creepily smart. Ask around, some will even say they're human. And that's a level of intelligence I'm not trying to deal with. One thing I do love is the dog that went against literal lions is also mad sensitive. They do not respond well to harshness, and you unironically have to watch how you talk to them, because they will take it personally. They're basically gifted teenagers. They're not for the discipline, so you better keep it positive.
Damn.
You know, I almost forgot to mention the dog Argentino. A mistake that would have been. Basically, a teenager
didn't that dog get banned in like
free will and decided to create the best
a lot of countries?
hunter dog. He took traits like the scent tracking of a pointer, the height of a Great Dane, the Pyrenean Mastiff's calm temperament, and the boxer's overall athleticism, and crossbred them with the now extinct Cordoba fighting dog. Eventually, he created an Argentinian Mastiff, and to prove its strength, he pitted his dog against a wild boar and a mountain lion, gladiator style. Only the dog made it out. And I wouldn't even believe that if it wasn't for the story of Morocco.
It's a light-skinned ass dog, nigga. Nigga said.
Only the dog made it.
That dog look like he got the dog in him.
Yeah, that nigga like, nigga, fuck with me and see, nigga.
That nigga like, yeah, I'm that dog, but I still got that dog and dog in me. I got triple dogs.
It's crazy because I feel like I've seen a dog like this before.
Yeah, I think I've seen one before.
Doggo,
white, yeah.
Argentina.
Yeah, I've seen one before.
It's like a pit bull, but like a white pit bull. It's like a white pit bull.
I think what I probably saw was a white pit bull. But they look like in the same family.
Yeah,
bro. Yeah. That dog got the dog.
I wouldn't even believe that if it wasn't for the story of Morocho, the dog Argentino, allegedly killing a puma to save his 2 human girls. Allegedly, because I'm not entirely sure it's true.
Oh, no, I remember this story.
A healthy mountain lion.
Yeah.
The narrative has been set. So W. Morocho. They might not be the biggest, but it's an explosive cannonball of a canine athlete that could overwhelm a grown man on the right day. They're tough enough to endure hours of trekking through rough terrain and still have enough juice to wrestle an animal 3 times its size. But if I ever saw this in an alley, my soul would auto-connect to the Wi-Fi sky. That's no Bluetooth. By now, you probably recognize the pattern. If a dog was bred as a livestock guardian in the mountains, it's likely the last dog you'd ever want issues with. And that is everything the Central Asian Shepherd dog is. The CAS, or Alibi, is another LGD spawning from Central Asia, and one of the few dogs that could honestly be confused with a polar bear. And while most of the dogs here are a matter of speculation and my personal bias, with the symbol of canine country strength often weighing over 200
Look at the
pounds,
chain on that
specimen motivated by malicious intent would dismantle an able-bodied man. And as one of the oldest dogs, humans didn't really do that much to breed them. They were honestly bred more by the harsh environment than anything. Just an overall unit of everything a dog can be, and likely the biggest dog most people have never heard of. Again, this isn't to demonize any breed in particular. I just figured the man versus dog thing gave me an excuse to talk about him, and I don't think I ever did make a dog video. So, you know, 2 birds, 1 stone and stuff. And if you're a man who thinks they can solo everything on this list, you got it. Don't take it too serious, although I haven't made an animal versus animal video in a minute. Now there's an idea. Reminder that I have a book rating animal by how likely they are to murk you, and dogs are on there. Their rating might just surprise you, but that's going to do it. Drink water, hug your mother,
that nigga
research the breed before you end up with a bear in your backseat. Acknowledge my shirt, please.
Nigga spit be sticky, bro.
Hey! What the fuck are you doing? How did you get up there?
Man, don't worry about that, nigga.
I mean, what you talking about, nigga? Get your ass over
Remember that
here.
time Disney made a kids movie where a man's wife and children get violently ripped off this?
That nigga said, man, I do this shit.
You said nigga, I'm a dog, nigga.
I said, don't worry about how I.
You worried about the wrong shit, nigga. Feeding me.
Woof, woof, nigga. Niggas tell you better come
I
get
came here to get some food, nigga. Y'all ain't feeding me enough, though.
Niggas, I thought it was food up
Now,
here.
until I see me a bowl of motherfucking food, I ain't coming down, bitch. And if I come down, I'm gonna bite the fuck out you. I'm gonna bite the shit out you.
Good dude. Hey man, anyway, man, that would be it for today's video, man. If you guys enjoyed, make sure you drop a like and leave a comment down below.
It's y'all for tuning in. We out.
Peace.